Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Michael and today I'm going to be taking you through a nice deep upper body stretch with a little bit of focus on the chest, shoulders and the arms. So build a little bit of strength in with our stretching. I'm not going to be using any props for today's session, but if you know that you need a belt or a block, then please feel free to gather those now. So we're going to begin in our wide-legged child's pose. So let's come onto our mats. Take the knees nice and wide, big toes touching. And let's simply press the hips back to the heels. We're going to reach the arms forward towards the front of the mat. And we're going to keep our head lifted here. So keep the elbows lifted. And as we press the hips towards the heels, we're going to continue to creep the fingertips forward. So already we're beginning in a nice deep upper body stretch. See if we can soften the back of the neck, relax the muscles of the face. And let's begin to hone our attention in towards the breath. So breathe in deeply down into the base of the lungs. So if Ujjayi breathing is part of your practice, you can engage that now. Hollowing out the back of the throat, softening the tongue, and just breathe in gently through the nose. Begin to create that lovely sound of the ocean. And we begin to soften and warm the breath. So continuing to creep the fingertips forward, deepening the stretch in the upper body. And as we do this, we can have a soft upward lift of the pelvic floor. Gently drawing the navel in towards the spine. So begin to contract the muscles within the core of the body. Just a gentle contraction here, so we just want to be aware of that space that surrounds our center. So we can maintain a steadiness throughout our practice. I'm going to slowly lift up, bringing the knees back underneath the hips. Bring the toes to the back of the mat. And from here we're going to walk the hands forward. We're going to aim the hands towards the front corners of the mat. Spread the fingers nice and wide. We're going to take a deep breath in here. And as we exhale, we're going to sink the chest down towards the floor. So again, keeping the head and the elbows lifted here. So we're sinking deeply into the chest. Once we're here, I always like to have a little sway from side to side. So you can just feel the connections between the muscles in the upper back, moving into the shoulders. Finding that space in the palms of the hands, drawing the belly in towards the spine and just breathing deeply here. Nice and steady. And then slowly and gently, just begin to walk the hands back towards the body. On our hands and our knees, spread the fingers wide, elbows and wrists balanced below the shoulders, and a tiny softness in the elbows. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, we're going to round into the spine, tucking the belly in as we gaze through the knees. Breathing in as we draw the belly down, roll the shoulders back, taking the gaze forward. And as we exhale, round into the spine, lengthen the arms, lift out the shoulders. Breathe in as we draw the belly down, lift the tailbone, gaze forward. Exhale as we round into the spine. And let's do this a few more times in line with your own breath, nice and steady. So easing into the spine here, tailbone to the back of the neck, finding that space between each of the vertebrae. And as we do so, gently moving with the breath. So again, finding that steadiness and softness within the body. And let's come back to a nice steady spine. We're going to tuck the toes under, take the hands a few inches in front of the shoulders, spreading the fingers wide. I'm going to float the tailbone up and back, pressing the heels down towards the earth. Let's have a nice deep pedal to the heels, a little sway into the hips. So as we move into our first downward facing dog,
We can just ease into the muscles all the way down the backs of the legs here, calves to the hamstrings, all the way up to the hips, and even down into the toes. So gently pedaling out the feet, soften the elbows, take that strength into the shoulders. And let's steady the feet, lift the hips up and back, and press the heels down to the earth. Hold it steady. And from here we're going to step the right foot forward in between the hands, nice and lightly. We're going to roll the shoulders back, steady the feet, press into the feet as we lift the upper body and float the arms up to the sky, palms facing in as we come into our first high lunge. So we're lengthening and lifting through the side body here. Tiny softness in the back of the neck so we can relax the muscles in the face and the back of the head. From here, let's take a nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to float the right fingertips down to the floor, to the inside of that right foot. I'm going to float the left arm up to the sky as we press the left shoulder open. So we've got that lovely upper body spiral. We're lifting out of the right shoulder, all the way up to the fingertips. Nice deep breaths. So if we're practicing this in the morning, the body might feel a little bit tighter than if we're practicing at the end of the day. That's absolutely fine. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, let's bring that left hand down to the floor. Both hands onto the mat as we straighten the right leg and fold the body forward. Relax the shoulders here. It's a nice deep stretch all the way at the back of that right leg. And let's bend into that right knee, plant the hands, step the right foot back. And from here we're going to float forward into our plank. So shoulders balanced above the ribs, hips are lifted, belly draws in, tiny softness in the elbows. We're just going to hold it here. So again, a little bit of strength building into the shoulders. So as we scoop the navel in, we can feel the belly working here. Nice deep breaths. And lifting the hips up and back, press the heels down, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, and let's go ahead and step the left foot forward in between the hands. Lovely, steady the feet, breathe in as we lift the upper body, float the arms up, palms face in, back into our high lunge. So again, we're lifting out of the side body here. Nice steady breath. And let's float the left fingertips down inside that left foot. Breathe in as we open up the right side of the body, all the way up to the sky. And again, we're lifting out of the left shoulder this time. So it's space across the chest. So maybe feeling that line of energy from the left fingertips all the way up to the right. And let's slowly bring the right hand down. Frame the front foot, straighten through the left leg, fold the body forward, relax the shoulders. So if you're feeling any stretch all the way at the back of the leg here, really breathe into that space. And let's bend the left knee, plant the hands, lightly step the left foot back. Let's float forward into our plank. So again, belly drawing in, hips are slightly lifted, so we're not sinking the hips down. So we're taking that weight into the shoulders, tiny little softness in the elbows. Keep breathing here, nice steady breath. And let's lift the hips up and back, press the heels down, downward facing dog. So again, tiny little softness in the elbows. Let's inhale as we look forward past the hands. Exhale as we lightly soften our knees. Breathe in as we step the feet all the way up to the hands. Lengthening through the spine before folding the body in. And let's press through the feet. Inhale, float the arms up. Look to our thumbs. Exhale, release the hands down. Lovely, let's roll the shoulders open.
palms facing forward. So Siddha Namaskara A, Sun Salutation A. Inhale, arms up, look to the thumbs. Exhale, draw the belly in, fold forward, lightly bring the hands down. Inhale as we lengthen through the spine, look forward. Exhale as we step the feet back. So we're really taking our time here. Breathe in as we float forward to our plank. Exhale as we lower, Chaturanga. Elbows drawing in. Breathe in as we draw the body forward and up. Shoulders down away from our ears. Exhale as we roll over the toes. And press the heels down. Downward facing dog. Nice steadiness with the breath. Tiny little softness in those elbows. So pressing into the fingertips here and feeling that line of energy again from the fingertips this time all the way over the back of the body and down into the heels. Inhale as we look forward. Exhale, soften the knees. Breathe in, step the feet all the way up to the hands. Lengthen before folding the body in. Press to the feet. Breathe in as we float the arms up. Stand tall, look to the thumbs. Exhale, release the arms down. And again, inhale, arms wide and up. Exhale as we fold, belly draws in, hands to the floor. Inhale, lengthen the spine and the arms look forward. Exhale as we step it back. Breathe in forward to our plank. Again, really take our time here. Exhale as we lower. It's fine to lower all the way down to the floor. If we do this, breathe in as we draw the belly forward and up. Exhale as we send the hips back. So if we're lowering all the way down to the floor, we don't need to draw the body forward. We can just lightly lift the chest. So we're really working within our own bodily limits here. So really listening to our bodies. So on that little element of challenge. We're never pushing into pain. So we don't want to create any pain within the body. We just want to feel the body working. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, soften the knees. Breathe in as we step the feet all the way up to the hands. Lengthening the spine before folding the body in. Breathe in as we float the arms up. Look to the thumbs. Exhale as we release the hands down. So we're going to do that one more time. Inhale, arms up. Stand tall, look to the thumbs. Exhale as we fold, hands to the floor. Breathe in, look forward, lengthen through the arms. Exhale as we step the feet back. Flip forward to our plank. Lower down, elbows draw in. Remember, we can lower all the way down to the floor. Breathe in as we draw forward and up. Exhale as we send the hips back. Pressing through the hands, soften the elbows, and send the heels down to the earth. So again, belly drawing in towards the spine, that little soft lift to the pelvic floor. So maintain that connection to our center, so the core of the body remains steady. From here, let's float the right leg up, bend the knee, lift the knee nice and high. And as we do this, continue to press into the hands, sending the hips up and back. So maintaining that strength in the upper body. Let's step the right foot forward, in between the hands. Bring the back heel down, press to the feet. Inhale as we float the arms up and take the arms wide so we can enter our first Virabhadrasana 2, our warrior 2. Shoulders pressing down away from our ears. We find that line of energy all the way across the chest, down into each of the arms. Nice steadiness with the breath. It's a lovely strong pose. Let's release the back arm down. Breathe in as we float the right arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to bring those fingertips down inside the right foot. And again, we're going to breathe in as we float the left arm up to the sky. So we press the left shoulder open. We find that lift from the floor all the way up to the fingertips. And then we're going to float that left arm forward. So bring it in line with that back leg. So we get that lovely line of energy here from the outside edge of that back foot all the way up to the fingertips. Breathe it steady.
And let's press to the feet. Inhale as we lift up. Release the back arm down. Breathe in as we float the right arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to windmill the hands. Lift the back heel. Step the right foot back. Float forward to our plank. Move through the vinyasa. Lower down chaturanga. Breathe in, draw the body forward and up. Exhale as we roll over the toes. Press the heels down. Downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide. And let's breathe in as we float the left leg up. Bend the knee. Lift the knee nice and high as we press into the hands. So again, we maintain that strength in the upper body. Engage with the pads of the fingers. Let's step the left foot forward. In between the hands. Bring the back heel down. Breathe in as we float the upper body. And taking the arms wide. So back into our Virabhadrasana 2. So we're repeating that sequence on the left side here. Steady the feet, soften the shoulders, find that space across the upper back and across the chest. And let's release the back arm down. This time float the left arm up to the sky. Palm faces in. And then bringing the left fingertips down to the floor inside the left foot. Breathe in as we float the right arm up to the sky. Press the right shoulder open. Steady the breath. And let's float that right arm forward. So we're coming in line with that back leg. So we're going to engage to the outside edge of that back foot. All the way up the side body here. Press to the feet. Inhale as we lift up. Take the arms wide, release the back arm down, breathe in as we float the left arm up, exhale as we windmill the hands, lightly step it back, and let's move to the vinyasa, breathe in forward, soften the elbows, lower down, breathe in as we draw the body forward and up, exhale it back, downward facing dog. So again, soft elbows, press into the hands, find that strength in the shoulders, all the way into the upper back and across the chest. And then from here, we're going to step the right foot forward in between the hands. Steady the feet, back heel is lifted, breathe in as we lift up. So we're coming back into our high lunge. Float the arms up to the sky, palms facing in. Let's sink that front thigh a little bit deeper. Soften the face muscles. So relaxing the jaw and the eyes. From here we're going to release our hands around the back of the body. We're going to interlace our fingers. Roll the shoulders back as we draw the hands away from the body. Maybe sink a little bit deeper. Let's take our gaze up to the ceiling. So again, that lovely stretch across the chest. So opening up into the front of the shoulders. Keep lifting the hands away from the body. And then release the hands. We're going to bring the left elbow over to rest on top of the right knee. Bring the palms to touch. Draw the right shoulder back. Bringing the hands in line with the chest. And looking to the right. So nice upper body twist here. The more we press into the hands, the more we'll open up across the chest. And let's gently release. Frame the front foot with the hands. Step it back. Move to the vinyasa. Breathing forward. Tiny softness in the elbows. Lowering down as we breathe in. Draw the body forward and up. Exhale as we roll over the toes. Pressing the heels down to the earth. Downward facing dog. Nice steady breathing. And let's step the left foot forward. So back heel is lifted, steady the feet. Breathe in as we lift the upper body. Let's float the arms up, palms in. Back into our high lunge. So again, we get that lovely length through the side of the body here.
all the way up to the fingertips. And I'm going to release the hands. Interlace the fingers around the back of the body. Roll the shoulders open as we draw the hands back. Sink it a little bit deeper. Let's take our gaze up. So again, keep lifting the hands away from the body. Release the hands. Right elbow over the left knee. Bring the palms to touch. Draw the shoulders open. So again, bringing the hands in line with the chest. So again, the more we press into our palms, the more we'll open up across the chest and find that lovely upper body rotation. And gently release. Frame the front foot with the hands, step it back, move through the vinyasa, breathing forward. Exhale as we lower, elbows draw in. Breathe in as we bring the body forward and up. Exhale as we send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. So maybe feeling a little bit of warmth through the body here. So remember, we can always come into our child's pose, taking a moment of rest. If not, soften the elbows, spread the fingers. And from here, we're going to breathe forward into our plank. Shoulders balanced above the wrists. And we're going to bring all our weight into our right hand. Come over onto the outside edge of that right foot. And here we can place the left foot on top of the right. If this feels unsteady, we can step the left foot behind us. And then we're going to take the left arm up to the sky. So feel that lift out the right shoulder, all the way up to the fingertips. Steady and soften the breath. So again, scoot the belly in, that little lift to the pelvic floor. So maintain that connection with the core of the body. Let's float the left hand down. So option here, staying in our downward dog, or we can move through a vinyasa. Lowering down chaturanga. Inhale, draw the body forward and up. Exhale back into our downward facing dog. Then we're going to breathe forward into our plank. Take all our weight to our left hand, roll to the outside edge of that left foot. Place the right foot on top. And let's take the right hand up to the sky. So again, engage to the core here. So don't allow the hips to sink. Keep the whole of the body nice and engaged. Nice steady breath. And let's float the left hand down. And then again, moving through the vinyasa. Forward into plank. Lowering down, breathing as we lift. Exhale as we send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Let's lower the knees to the floor, bring the toes to touch, and just take a moment to rest in child's pose. So keep the head a little bit lifted here, sink the chest, so we still take that intention into the shoulders, into the upper body, but just taking a moment to breathe. Lovely, let's lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale as we look forward. Exhale as we soften the knees. From here, we're going to step our feet to the center of the mat. Heels slightly in, toes slightly out. Sinking down into our squat, our malasana. So here, we're going to bring our elbows to the insides of the legs. Using the elbows to gently open the hips. Bring the palms to touch. So if we bring the palms down in line with the elbows, we'll just find that little sense of opening. As we do this, we can draw the chest forward and up, open across the shoulders, and just hold it steady. Relax the toes. And so if we find this position a little bit challenging for our balance, we can also always place a block or a cushion underneath the base of the body just to help us with that steadiness. So really lovely posture to open up the lower body, but again we can take that intention still into the shoulders and the chest.
From here, let's take the right hand down to the floor and let's breathe in as we float the left arm up to the sky. Open up across the chest. Keep the lower body nice and steady. And swapping the hands over. Left hand comes down, right hand up to the sky. Press the right shoulder open. Nice deep breaths. And let's bring both hands down to the floor. We're going to breathe in as we slowly lift the tailbone. Bringing the feet back in towards each other, hip width apart. So feet in line with the sides of the mat. And from here we're going to catch hold of the big toes. We're going to breathe in as we lengthen the spine. Exhale as we draw the body in towards the legs. So here we're drawing our elbows out to the sides. So nice deep forward fold. And release the toes, catch hold of the hips, soft knees, pressure the feet. Breathe in as we lift the body up. Lovely, let's take the feet nice and wide. Turn the heels in, turn the toes out. Have a little sway from side to side, just allowing the body to soften into the knees. And remember, we want our knees to roughly be heading over our toes. So we keep the knees nice and soft, so we're not twisting into the knees. So here we'll engage with the soles of the feet. We can float the toes, find that softness in the arches, and then lower the toes down. We're going to breathe in as we take the arms wide, and then we're going to bring our right arm underneath the left, bringing the palms to touch, press the elbows forward, lift the hands towards the sky, take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to sink the tailbone down. So those lovely arms of Gadadasana. So here we can send the breath into that space between the shoulder blades. So again, intention on the upper back here, all into the upper body and into the upper arms. And let's release, straighten the legs, take the arms wide. Bringing the left arm underneath the right, wrap the arms around, palms touch. On an exhale, bend into the knees, sink the body down, release the toes. Press the elbows forward, lift the hands towards the sky and sink a little bit deeper. Nice and steady. Lovely, press to the feet, breathe, and as we lift up, release the arms, turn the heels out, turn the toes in, maybe take the feet a little bit wider. So from here we're going to interlace our fingers around the back of the body. We're going to roll the shoulders back as we breathe in and lift the chest. And as we exhale, we're going to fold it forward, floating the hands up and over. So here, pressing the body through that space between the legs. So here we get this lovely deep stretch across the chest. So again, find that little bit of challenge here on the shoulders. Maybe push a little bit deeper. Never into pain, but really feel that sense of challenge in the body. So you can really feel the body working. So here we can take the weight slightly forward. Let's release the hands, bring the hands to the floor, hands in line with the feet, elbows in line with the shoulders, deep breath in through the nose, and as we exhale again, let's press the body a little bit deeper. Lift the tailbone, lighten the load in the heels. So take the weight a little bit further forward into the balls of the big toes. Lovely, let's inhale as we lift up halfway. Let's spin out on that right heel. Walk the hands to the front of the mat. Let's step that foot back. Option to move through a final vinyasa, breathing forward into our plank. Belly drawing in, remember shoulders above the wrists. Soften the elbows as we lower the body down just to hover. Breathe in as we draw the body forward and up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale as we send the hips up and back. Our last downward facing dog. So maybe a little pedal through the heels, little sway into the hips. Spread the fingers wide. And let's breathe in as we lift up to the tips of the toes. Exhale as we lower the knees gently down. Bringing the toes to touch. Press the hips back to the heels. Reaching the arms forward. And this time we can soften the elbows down as we release the forehead down to the floor. And let's just breathe here. So taking a moment here to just find that softness in the body. So always practicing that Stiram Sukham Asanam, that steadiness and ease within our practice. So we find that balance between softness and engagement. And let's go ahead and lift up nice and gently. Come and sit onto our mats. And feet at the front of the mat. And then we're going to take our hands behind us. So a little bit away from the body. We want to spread the fingers wide. The fingertips are facing forward. We're going to draw the elbows and the shoulders in towards each other. So we already start to feel that sense of lift into the chest. We're going to press into the hands and we're going to breathe in as we lift the hips up, press the toes towards the floor, and if it's comfortable we can allow the head to sink back. Nice deep breaths. And let's lower the hips down to the floor, peel the flesh away from the sit bones. Let's go ahead and catch a hold of our feet. Relax the shoulders down. Breathe in as we lift through the chest. As we exhale, lead with the heart. Keeping our gaze on the toes here. Soften the elbows. It's a lovely Paschimottanasana. Opening up that space down in the lower back. Scoop the belly in. And let's breathe in as we lift up. And let's come all the way down onto our mats. It's coming down onto the back of the body. Hug the knees in. Let's have a little rock from side to side. So here we're going to come into our Setu Bandhasana. So bringing the soles of the feet down to the floor. So we want the feet in line with the hips here. Knees in line with the heels. So we keep that nice stacking through the lower body. Releasing the arms down, palms face down. And let's go ahead and press the feet as we breathe in and lift the hips up towards the sky. So we can tuck the shoulder blades in towards each other. So again, we maintain that engagement across the chest, have steadiness in the shoulders. And we have an option here. We can interlace the fingers, drawing the knuckles towards the heels. Again, scoop the shoulder blades in. We maintain that little extra lift. If you want to take it a little bit further, we can catch a hold of our waist and we can draw the elbows in. And lift the hips a little bit higher. Nice deep breaths. And slowly lower down, nice and gently. Lovely, let's bring the soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to drift out to the sides. And let's bring the backs of the arms to rest on the floor. Elbows in line with the shoulders. Backs of the hands resting on the floor. So we get this nice passive stretch across the shoulders into the front of the chest. And now we can begin to soften through the belly, releasing any holding on of the pelvic floor. So just allowing the centre of the body to become soft
let's bring the knees back in towards each other. Hug the knees in, a little rock from side to side. And we're going to reach our hands inside the legs, catching hold of the outside edge of the feet. We're going to draw the soles of the feet so they're parallel with the sky. And then allow the weight of the shoulders to gently draw the knees towards the floor. Maybe have a little rock from side to side. So finishing with our happy baby. It's a lovely passive stretch through the hips, a nice massage for the lower back. So we don't have to rely on any strength of the upper body here, we're just allowing the weight at the back of the body to gently ease the knees down. So again, it's a nice passive stretch. Deep breaths down into the belly as we slow the body down. Slowly release the feet, straightening the legs along the floor, allow the feet to soften out to the sides, arms down the sides of the body with the palms facing up, relaxing the muscles across the chest down into the belly, and just simply allowing the whole of the body to become soft. Taking the awareness down into the toes and the soles of the feet. Just easing the muscles all the way up into the legs and the hips. Softness of the breath. Relaxing down into the shoulders and down into each of the arms, all the way down into the tips of the fingers. The back of the neck is open and soft. The back of the head is heavy. The facial muscles are relaxed. And we soften into the body's own natural rhythm. Simply allowing the body to surrender to the earth. Releasing all effort and control to completely let go. So for those of you that wish to spend a little bit more time in Savasana, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, let's begin to deepen our breathing. Begin to move through the fingers and the toes, gently easing into the wrists and into the ankles. Let's begin to draw the knees in towards the body. knees in, a little rock from side to side. And maybe reaching the arms above the head, and a lovely big stretch. Stretching through each of the legs. And then rolling onto the side to ease the body up. So coming into a nice, comfortable seat. Let's take our hands into prayer position in front of the chest. A lovely Anjali mudra, relaxing the shoulders down. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and release that breath with a big sigh. Thank you very much for taking the time to practice with me today. I hope you enjoyed the session. Please click the link, the like, the subscribe, and if you wish to donate to classes, then you can buy me a coffee below. Enjoy your day, your week, your evening, wherever you are, and I shall see you again soon. Thank you.